What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be helping you guys find out who to main in the second half of Season 1 in Marvel Rivals. Now, the new mid-season update came out, so there's a lot of different buffs and nerfs that were handed out to different characters, so you're probably wondering who is good, who is bad, and who should I be playing right now. And that's why I'm here. I'm going to go through each role and give you guys a couple different options in each in order to help you guys find out who you want to main in the second half of Season 1. Now, if there's any other type of gaming or Marvel Rivals content you want to see, go ahead and let me know in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But until then, leave a like and subscribe, and let's cue that intro. Alright guys, so the very first Vanguard that I'm going to recommend you main in the second half of Season 1 is the newest one, and that's the Thing. This guy is great. I love his moveset. It's very simple, but it's super effective. He can be really hard to kill, especially if you're getting focused by your healers. He can go into the enemy backline and cause so much mayhem. And you're looking at this clip, you could just run in there, cast your ult on any support, and just go, shield your teammates, and come back and do even more damage. He could be an absolute nuisance to deal with. And if you could figure out his kit, I mean, it's not that hard to figure out, so you shouldn't have a problem with that. But if you really figure out how to use him, you could be really, really great with him. The second Vanguard that I'm going to recommend you try and main is actually Thor. So Thor has now gotten back-to-back buffs. He got one at the beginning of the season which improved his ultimate, and now he has one which improves his awakening ability. So it's obvious that the devs are showing him some love, and it's starting to show. Because Thor now has the highest win rate and low elos in the Vanguard position. And in high elos, obviously it's still pretty high, not number one. This guy does a ton of damage. He does great as a tank. Not as a solo tank. I would recommend you run him with another one, but he does a really good job at causing a lot of pressure on the enemy team. And if that's your type of game, I would say Thor 100% is your guy. So the final Vanguard that I'm going to recommend you try and main is actually going to be Penny Parker. Now this character has grown on me quite a bit. I used to rank on her a lot, but now I see the vision. I can see it. She does tons and tons of damage with her infinite ammo, and obviously with her nests and her mines, she's able to rack up tons and tons of kills. Obviously you have to know where to put your nests, but as long as you're able to put them in places where it's hard to reach and no one can really get to them, you're going to have a really fun time with her. And if you're able to set up your mines in really good places, you'll have no problem winning games with her. With all that being said, the three Vanguards that I would recommend you main are the Thing, Thor, and Penny Parker. Alright guys, so the first duelist that I'm going to recommend you actually main is going to be Star-Lord. So Star-Lord has flown a bit under the radar, and he got a little buff that is actually going to be pretty big for him. So now he's able to fly a lot longer after the Season 1.5 update, which is really big for him because he's this assassin type player who is really good at taking out all the flying characters, so Storm, Iron Man, and Human Torch. And he does a great amount of damage, and a lot of people are really starting to pick him up now. So I would definitely recommend hopping on the Star-Lord hype train because it's definitely his season. He's going to go absolutely crazy this second half of Season 1. The next duelist I'm going to go ahead and recommend you try and main is actually going to be Iron Man. So surprisingly, Iron Man has been doing really well in the high elos, and after the 1.5 update, he's less reliant on the amazing gamma boost that he gets when he's with Hulk. His Unibeam does a lot more damage, and his repulsors come out a lot faster. So he's become more of an independent hero, which I think he needed because once you banned Hulk, you were kind of banning Iron Man too. And I don't think that's the case anymore. This guy can really do a lot of damage without him. He already did a lot of damage on his own. His ult is a really good carry. And yeah, I would have to say that Iron Man has jumped up for me, and you should definitely consider maining him. And the final duelist I'm going to recommend you try and pick up and learn is actually going to be Namor. So very surprisingly, Namor avoided any type of nerfs in the 1.5 update, which is insane because he's really, really good. This guy stops everyone. He can stop Spider-Man, Magic, Black Panther, any high-skilled character who is threatening to kill you, he can instantly shut down if you know what you're doing with Namor. And he's actually pretty easy to pick up. I mean, honestly, it's really just you're putting down your Monstro Spawns, your Octopuses, and getting kills with them. And it doesn't take a lot to get good with Namor, but he is so good right now. And the Luna Snow team up that gives him the third Octopus that slows people is insane. So if you want a really OP champion who hasn't been nerfed somehow and is easy to pick up, I would recommend getting Namor. So the 3 duelists that I'm going to go ahead and recommend you try and main in the second half of Season 1 are going to be Star-Lord, Iron Man, and Namor. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the strategists. And the first strategist that I think that you should pick up in main is actually going to be Mantis. So for Mantis, her win rate is still really, really high. She is not as picked and used as much as she was in the beginning of the game of Season 0, but she's still a very reliable option, and her ultimate actually avoided nerfs, which is pretty big considering that most strategists did get nerfed, especially Cloak and Dagger. You have to be able to aim with her, you have to hit your headshots because she does great damage. She has great CC in case anyone is coming to dive on you. And she's all around a really great pick. And as long as you're getting your hits in and the damage, and you're getting up your leafs to heal people, you're going to be great with Mantis. So I highly recommend you try to pick her up and learn her. The next strategist that I'm going to recommend you try and main is going to be Invisible Woman. And the reason why is because her kit is very, very good. She does tons of damage for a healer, and she can help her team win every single team fight. Obviously, she does great amounts of heals with her primary fire, and if you hide behind her shield, she'll heal you as well. But she does great amounts of damage with her bubble, which can suck people in and do constant amounts of damage to them. And you can push and pull enemies away on objectives and do great damage there as well. Obviously, her ultimate is one of the best in the game. Everyone inside becomes invisible and gets healed. So her kit is very, very good and very, very versatile. So if you're looking for a carry healer, this is the one for you. And now the final character that I'm going to recommend you try to main in Marvel Rivals is actually going to be Rocket. And yes, he is very simple, probably the easiest character to learn in the game, but he is super good at what he does. This guy, if you're just pocket healing the whole game, you will have 30,000, 40,000 healing every single game. His kit, while very simple, is really good. He has his revive beacon, which obviously brings people back. It also gives shield. And if you team him up with a Punisher and Winter Soldier, he can give them infinite ammo, which can be a real game changer. And yes, I know the ultimate is not the best. You don't want to hear that your amplifier is up when you see a Storm ult coming your way. But in the middle of a team fight, when everyone's just shooting and that amplifier comes up, you'd be surprised of how effective it actually is. And this guy could be a real game changer. You don't even have to do damage and you'll be able to carry your games. There's a guy who famously climbed all the way to Celestial without doing a single bit of damage as Racoon. So, if you're looking for a simple character who can easily carry your games, I would recommend Rocket without a shadow of a doubt. Alright, so to wrap things up, the 3 strategists that I'm going to recommend you main in the second half of Season 1 are Mantis, Invisible Woman, and Rocket Racoon. Now, I listed all 9 of these characters because I think they are different from each other, they fit the meta that's going on right now, and they're all really fun to use. So I hope I was able to give a good amount of options for you guys to pick up and learn for the second half of Season 1. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you liked the video. Remember that you can use any character you want in the game. I just think that these are some guys that will really help you rank up in the second half of Season 1. Now, if there's any other type of Marvel Rivals content that you want to see, go ahead and let me know in the comments and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But until then, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.